Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Sid, your host, and this is the Menonverse, where I strive to bring informational yet entertaining content to your screens. So, do consider subscribing if you like that sort of content, or just like that. It's free. Please do follow me on my socials. Links will be in the description down below. And without any further ado, let's begin this one. Today we will be discussing about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It is a new race and we have lots at stake here. The avid F1 viewers might be aware that Max can take the title at this race given that a certain set of permutation and combinations are successfully fulfilled. However, we will be talking on that later on in this video. Before we dive into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, there has been a highlight. Sebastian Vettel has been in the news for all the good reasons, and we have Raunaq with us to discuss on the same. So, Ronnie, what has been Seb up to?
Well, Seb has been organizing a women-only karting race in Jeddah, which is a very good act on his part.
Yes.
Uh, Seb being Seb, he's like such a nice gentleman and doing all nice things for upliftment of LGBTQ community and for women. Like in such a country where women were especially oppressed at during certain point of time. Recently, the rules regarding all this operation have been relaxed by the government, but still it's a very good step on behalf of SEP to for conducting this amazing women-only karting race.
Yeah, of course, because Seb has that platform, and Seb, along with Lewis, they have been voicing their opinions to the world. We can take it back to the Hungarian Grand Prix, where when the Hungarian government banned discussing about LGBTQ plus issues for under 18s. Seb took a stand and he actively supported the LGBTQ plus community, and so did Lewis. And he has been doing an outstanding job on track and off track. So that is pretty nice. So well done, Seb. You are a world champion.
Yes, definitely. It's always good to hear from such a great personality talking about all these issues, which not only affect a certain class of people, but it a woman getting oppressed sends a very negative messages to
Correct.
the entire society. And what Seb is doing is bringing out the good thing from this GP by conducting women only karting race for women.
In fact, Seb said that he's not going to be focusing on the negatives, that human rights issues and all that have been happening in Saudi Arabia, but he's wanting to focus on the positives, which is that women just got the right to drive in 2017. That is very recent. So Seb is making the most of it, and he is making sure that women are empowered in Saudi Arabia. And way to go, Seb.
Yeah, kudos to Seb, and we hope that he keeps on doing all this amazing stuff in future as well.
Yes, of course.
So, with this positive news, we move ahead and discuss this amazing, very fresh Jeddah Grand Prix.
Yes, indeed. So, I would like to discuss about the track and what we can expect from the track. So, as we know, the track was just recently completed. If I'm not wrong, just about a day or two ago, or probably just before that. And it is the latest, freshest track on the circuit, on the calendar. And it is the second longest in the season, just 800 meters short of Spa. It is the fastest street circuit, just fastest just behind Monza and just ahead of Silverstone. So it should be interesting. We have very narrow streets. There is absolutely near to no runoff areas. So it's going to be very exciting. And I don't know what to expect. We did see the FP1 session today. And although Lewis did top off, but practice sessions, they really don't matter much, do they? So it is interesting to see what will happen in this circuit.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the sheer amount of speed which we just saw in free practice one what I believe that the race is going to be on fire
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it will be very exciting race, hopefully, and a safe one for all the drivers. As you already said that the circuit has a very less runoff area, which sometimes can be helpful for the drivers to balance their car a bit. But um, the circuit is minus all those runoff areas. So yeah, definitely the race is going to be very exciting. this weekend.
And apart from that, what we have what we know is that since the track was just recently completed, so the track really is not very ready. It Many drivers have been saying that it will be slippery. It will be because in order for a track to be absolutely ready for a Grand Prix, it has to be rubbered in. There needs to be a certain grip amount, but there is none right now. So the Formula One cars are the first cars which are going to be driving on these tracks. However, we do have an F2 race on Saturday, and I think we have an F2 race on Sunday just before the main Formula One
Main
Grand
race,
Prix
yeah,
as well.
one feature race and one, I guess, the main race.
Yeah, so it should improve, the track should evolve a bit, which should lead to better grip levels. But we all saw what happened in Turkey last year. The cars were just sliding off the track, and Bottas, well, he was spinning like anything. So I hope that does not happen. There are absolutely no chances of rain in Saudi Arabia. The places are almost 90 to 95% desert, but you never know what happens. And
Yeah, definitely. I mean, although there are no chances for rain in Saudi, but yet being such a new track for all the drivers, we might expect a bit of drama on the track.
yeah, but luckily there wasn't any. I mean, FP1 was pretty clean. There were no mishaps. I mean, small lockups and all,
Small
but
lockups.
that's fine. That's normal.
Small lockups.
Drivers are trying to learn the
Yeah.
track, and it has been pretty exciting. And Max has been just fully sending it. So exciting. I'm just waiting for FP2. I mean, I normally don't watch the practice sessions that much, but this is exciting. We want to know more about this track.
Yes, definitely, and definitely we want to see the turn 13, the turn
Yes.
13 banking. The turn 13 banking is, I guess, 7 degrees
Less than
less
Zandervoort.
less steeper than the Zandervoort and 3 degrees steeper than the
Indianapolis.
motorway. So it will be very exciting to see that turn.
So with that-
as we all know, bankings are always good to watch and good to race on.
Yeah, we all know
We
what
all love
happened at
watching-
Zandervoort. It
Yeah,
was
it was-
bloody exciting. So with that, let's see the strengths and weaknesses. So Mercedes has been pipped as the clear favorites for this track because it has the long straights. But the track designer Herman Tilke, he mentioned that there are very fast corners which will suit the Red Bull. So it is a 50-50, and well, we did see in FP1. I mean, again, FP1 timings don't matter much, but it was just the first outing these drivers had. However, Max was not that far off the pace from the Mercs. So we might expect once the track starts evolving a bit more, it gets rubbered down a bit more, we'll have a bit more grip. So that should improve the racing quality, and let's see. I think it's about 50-50 between the two. I'm still leaning more towards the Red Bulls. What about you?
Well, surprisingly today, what we saw in the initial phases of FP1 was Max clocking fastest laps on a hard compound tires.
Yes, but that was the initial.
And
yeah.
all the remaining pack were on softs, and they were not able to compete Max initially with the softs.
But
Ultimately, Max got on soft, and I guess he might have been struggling a bit with softs. But what a pace he set with the hard compounds! I mean, that was brilliant.
Yeah, but again, that all boils down to the track evolution. So once the track started evolving, we saw that the soft compound tire started becoming fast. Well, Lewis did set the fastest lap time. What the organizers are saying, what Formula One is saying, that they're expecting quali time of around 1:28 or something. So let's see what happens. 128, 127 maybe. Let's see what happens.
Maybe.
And yeah, so but I did notice one thing. Uh, Hamilton and Bottas, they have been performing well. Max has been performing well. He's on a different league altogether right now. Hamilton and Verstappen are in different leagues altogether, apart from the rest of the pack. But I could see Perez struggling a bit because he couldn't post a very fast lap time. I think the best he could do was a P11, if I'm not wrong. P11 or late down below P8. So Checo needs to pull up his socks and just gun it because well, if Red Bull needs to win the constructors, they need Checo.
Yeah, definitely. But even I witnessed this thing. Checo was struggling with his car and the pace. What do you think might be the reason for his slightly off pace performance today?
What I think is he's just trying to learn the track. I think he's just trying to learn, trying to know more about the track, just trying to understand the track a bit more. And again, this is just practice, so they are just practicing. They will be going back to the simulator, they will be checking the balance of the car, making all the necessary adjustments, and later on, I think FP2 and FP3 should be exciting. But as we all know, what is important is what happens in the race, and for that, Checo needs to be as high up the order in order to help Max as possible. So, what do you think about this?
Yes, definitely. Checo needs to improve in the main race and as well as qualifying because he needs to be as close as possible with Max to help him out with the battle between Merc and Red Bull.
Yeah.
So yes, I guess both the teams are going to give their 100% in this GP.
Yeah. So, next, I would like to discuss about the permutation and combinations of what needs to happen for Verstappen to become champion in Saudi. So these are the stats which were released by Formula One. So if Verstappen finishes first with the fastest lap and Hamilton finishes sixth or lower, Verstappen is champion. If Max finishes first and without the fastest lap and Hamilton finishes seventh or lower, he is champion. If he finishes second with the fastest and Hamilton is 10th or lower, he's again champ. And if he comes second and Hamilton doesn't score, he is champion. So what do you think? Will things happen in favor of Max or would it go down to Abu Dhabi?
Well, I don't think anyone can guess at this moment who is going to what points are these drivers going to score. But as far as we know that there needs to be a difference of 18 points between Max and Lewis for Max to win this world championship. So, and I don't think that Lewis is going to give a poor performance, or maybe he will never want to finish anywhere near even 15 points behind Max.
I mean, when was the last time he finished seventh? I think it was Monaco.
Well, this year itself, Max and Lewis have shared podiums around 12 to 13 times this season itself.
Yeah.
So there's this battle between Max and Lewis is very stiff and close. So we'll have to wait and watch.
Let's see what happens. So, Raunaq, I would like to deviate a bit, if you may permit me, from Red Bull and Mercedes, because battle for P3 in the championship is pretty live and hot between Ferrari and McLaren. Ferrari at the moment are 39.5 points ahead of McLaren, and if McLaren needs to secure that P3 in the standings, they need to have a really strong weekend in Saudi as well as Abu Dhabi. But I believe Ferrari is P3 now. They will take P3 in the championship. What do you think?
Yes, I mean McLaren had such a wonderful start to the season. They had secured such a nice lead over their rivals initially, but during the last triple header, McLaren only scored I believe 4 points.
Yes.
and Ferrari were on fire in those triple headers. So
Yeah.
definitely I
McLaren.
believe,
Sorry.
yeah, I believe that Ferrari are going to secure their third position in this constructors, because like there are only two races left, and you never know. Like the chances are very slim for McLaren to.
Yeah, something happened. I mean, after the McLaren 1-2 at Monza, their form has just deteriorated, and I believe both drivers are facing some sort of lack of confidence. I think Norris more after that horrible session in Russia where he threw away the lead. Well, I don't know what has happened with Danny. Danny has had a bit of bad luck himself. Qatar, he was having that issue with the fuel gauge. He had to extensively save fuel from lap one. I mean, from the race start, if you're seeing low fuel, that's not a good sign. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. Ferrari might have just taken away P3. But it's not all bad news for McLaren because getting P4 this year means they will have a bit more wind tunnel time for the next season because that's how the wind tunnel allocation is being decided. The lower down order you finish, the more amount of wind tunnel testing time you get. So it's not all bad for McLaren. They might benefit from that extra wind tunnel time and may produce a car which might be able to compete for the title next year.
Yes, definitely that might help. And you just like touched a very sad topic, that sad Russian GP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a heartbreak for me, because I am a very big Lando fan, and that race was like such a big disappointment. I was like, I was all in tears uh, when Lando lost the grip on the track, and yeah, so I believe that Lando will bounce back, and he's a strong driver, I believe, and yes, definitely, I would like to see him win certain races in future. So
I believe Lando has a lot of wins coming his way in the future. Probably even world titles, multiple world titles, if I may dare say. But let's see. I am excited. So I think it is time we discuss about predictions. So what are your predictions for the quali and for the race?
okay, so my prediction for qualifications would be Max taking the pole,
Hmm.
Lewis P2,
Hmm.
and I have my doubts between Bottas and Perez because the fight is so tough. Like it's very like.
But if you have to say,
I'll go with Bottas.
okay, Bottas. And what about the race?
My prediction for the race is like Max, then Bottas, then Lewis. So yes, like, this is what I predict.
But I don't think Mercedes will allow Bottas to compete too. But let's see what
You know,
happens.
I knew this thing was going to come, and but just one little moment, I believe that something might happen where Valtteri
Is way
might
ahead.
get a certain amount of lead ahead of Lewis, and
With Checo just behind Lewis, he wouldn't want to compromise
yeah,
on that.
with
Probably.
Checo, maybe with Checo behind Lewis, Mercedes itself will not want to compromise the whole race for them. So.
Yeah. So for me, it would be Lewis taking pole, Max P2 and Bottas P3. And for the race, I would say Max for the win, Leclerc P2 and Norris P3.
That's a very wonderful prediction, like Max and then taking Leclerc and Norris on the podium. So I will definitely want this to happen.
So let's see what happens and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Wait. Before we go, don't forget to like this video if you like this kind of content. Do subscribe, and it would be a real honor if you press that bell icon. It just helps us a lot. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.